It is a brand new episode of Hockey and Hounds. Jason Myrtetus, John Tortorella, as always, brought to you by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. Torts, we've got a great update this week for Hounds, and we're going to revisit an old couple of dogs as well. But let's start with a couple of games because all one-goal hockey games are clearly not created equal.
Yeah,
it's a bizarre game, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought against the Rangers, I thought we played really good.
A lot of detail out there.
Yeah, I thought we were the better team.
Mm-hmm.
We just couldn't find a way to score that goal. Very emotional game. Really good game for our young guys to be involved in. It's kind of a sniff of, if we get there, what playoffs will be kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think playoffs is going to be at a whole different plateau than that. Go to Pittsburgh. Kind of, it was not as much emotion in it, I think, by either team. Just a stupid game with all the goals. I don't think either goaltender played well.
Combined save percentage is .759.
Got it in both guys. But I guess the thing we try to take out of it is we just kept on trying to come back. And Tyson's going a little bit now. Still need to get more out of our veteran guys. Cam, Coots, Frosty was in between all over the place. Beezer struggled. We'll play our next game and get going. But two different type games.
Do you worry about that going into a game like Pittsburgh? Because I know in the NFL, like you go, okay, this team just played a big division rival. It's the Eagles and the Cowboys, and next week you have the human nature letdown. You have the big game Saturday at home. That there's a vibe in the building, and you got Pittsburgh on Sunday. So maybe that mitigates it a little bit. Like you're not going to play, some team that's got no teeth for you as a franchise. Do you worry about that?
Yeah,
See it coming?
Yeah, I not so much the readiness. I was more worried about just our energy.
Mm-hmm. And they're laying in wait.
They're waiting. They hadn't played for 2 or 3 days. I was a little surprised with them how. I thought they were going to come hard.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really happen that way.
Yeah.
We miss TK. He's the more and more the minutes you go without him on our team. And I can speak very frankly. I'm running the bench. It's a huge hole, and emotionally too. So I thought we gathered ourselves. I don't think we played that well, but I liked the way we just kept on fighting. Yeah. And, pucks were going in our net all over the place, but didn't phase us. We just kept fighting. But great to have Tyson back on the bench. Got to get TK healthy. If we want any chance, we got to get him healthy and get back playing.
He's been such a catalyst for you guys
everywhere.
Yeah, with that, like you said, the emotion too, and dragging other guys. Some guy might be lacking a little bit. Yeah. He's got a way of bringing people into the fight. I was telling Smitty at the second intermission to that game, I said that I put out a tweet, and I said the most obvious thing was that you guys are down 2, and it just I haven't learned yet that you guys are going to battle back. You come back, you get a shorty, you get that game tied, but that's just what you guys have done all year long. Do you worry about your group in front of when you're not getting great goaltending?
Well,
the bailout, and how they're going to attack, because you are very aggressive.
It is. Listen, Cal hasn't played a whole bunch, and we wanted to be more. We wanted to be better in front of him. I don't think we were awful in front of him, but we need to be better. That certainly has to come into play because he just hasn't played much.
Yeah,
he's still trying to find his game, trying to resurrect his career. We talk, but you got to be really careful about thinking defense. Our best defense is being on our toes and going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best way to protect our goalie. And and against Pitt too, you need to push forward. If they're not as dangerous as they used to be, but Crosby is obviously still playing at an incredible level. My problem is as we play these teams with top players, we're having problems stopping a top player.
Mm-hmm. You did it well Saturday, though.
Yeah. Saturday,
You really mitigated it.
We did. You're right. But consistently along the way here, they've had big games against us, and so we're we got to get more out of people. I'm not going to. We got to get more out of Coots, Cam, Pales, Catesy, and Hath has probably been our most consistent line. They can't check and also score all the goals. So we've got to get some more help and try to get some consistency within our lineup.
When you look at it too, you look at this point in the season. Do you think part of what Sean Couturier is going through and Cam Atkinson's going through is a little bit of a result of not playing for an extended period of times, and there's walls that they're going to hit that then they have to downscale?
Probably, yes. Yeah. And I think Cam has fought it for most of the year. I think Cooch started off really well, and we expected there was going to be something as far as just a little bit of a valley in it, but we got to try to get him out of it as quickly as possible. We don't have a lot of games to play, but we're at the end of February. We're still in a playoff spot. We've got to find a way to rejuvenate some of that, both Cam and Coots, and hopefully other people follow along. Frosty's a very important guy for us because he has shown us that he can play really good hockey. He's taken a dip again. He's been very inconsistent. Yeah. So this is the time of year. And listen, we've talked about this. These are pressure games. There's a lot of different stuff going on with these as far as how important the result is. And we're watching how people handle it.
I believe, as the kids say, two things can be true.
Yeah.
They say that all the time now. Yeah. It was a missed opportunity to grab some points in the standings, but it didn't sting you because of what the other teams did. You're obviously without TK right now, as you mentioned. Jamie goes down in the game as well, and he goes right up the tunnel. Tell me he goes right away. I go, it's not head.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, but it might be shoulder. And then you're without Risto as well. I know the term gets thrown around, next man up, quite a bit in sports, but the next man up a lot of times is not the man that just went out.
Yeah.
How do you overcome injuries? It's part of it.
It's
as a coach, you go just plow forward.
Yeah. We don't even talk about it. We've got to find a way. Guys are going to get extra minutes at certain times, and Z's going to get more minutes now. Stalzy's going to be more of a mainstay in our back end. We got to get better play out of Sandy, out of Yorkie. They've been good. Sandy's been a little bit inconsistent, but I think he's finding his game right now. You put your lineup on the board. This is it. We got to find a way. Yeah. There's no sense having a long discussion about it.
No, because you can't change it.
No.
Do you find with a guy like Travis Sanheim that if his offense starts going, it brings his defense, or is it the defense that brings the offense?
I think it's his defense that brings the offense. Okay. Yeah, I do. And he's given us more minutes. He was struggling for a bit, and we kind of left him alone because he knows what we want out of him. It's been told to him many times all through last year, and I think he has grown in that area as far as what his expectations are. That's the most important thing. Coaches can ask for it.
Yeah.
But if you don't think if you're not asking yourself for more, that's a big problem. He's asking himself, and he knows how important he is to the team. I think he's beginning to find it. I think it works from defense to offense.
Work from your own end out for sure. What did you think of Lixell's games? I thought that he looked like he had more jump than any other time he's been up.
Yeah. His game. I even saw, he had 4 points the night before he came to us.
Charlotte. Yeah.
Like I saw him at the hotel when he pulled in, and he was up at the meal. I said, bring some of that offense tonight. Yeah. And I think he did.
Brings the same size. Yeah, everything's the same.
Yeah. It's
nothing
funny.
different here.
And he did.
Yeah.
There was the past 2 out of the 3 games he's been up, because one of the games I didn't play him much. I'm not sure why. I think there were penalties and all sorts of stuff going on. But the 2 games that he's played 11, 12, 13 minutes, you can see some of the offense coming out of him. You can feel you can see he's more comfortable. He's going to play, and he'll probably get bounced around, maybe even see some power play time. He's done a really good job in the power play down there.
Yeah.
It's another guy that next man up, and here's your opportunity.
The thing about there's a play I think it's the pick game. There's an icing, and he just absolutely legs it out to get you guys to face off down to the other end. And I go, I know Tort's like that. He's in there. He won't tell him. But that's a good play from a young guy to recognize I got to win this foot race. Yeah. It's little things like that'll keep you in the good graces. As you prepare, you mentioned dealing with top players, and you know, you have Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider on Saturday, and then obviously Crosby on Sunday. You deal with Kucherov again this week. You're going to get Ovechkin on Friday. You're going to have to deal with that. But in dealing with those players, like, they're all so different. You know, go back to when you were with Columbus and you have that win against Tampa. What was it you did against that team? Because to me, I watched it. I go, you forced them to play at a pace they didn't want to play at, which was fast.
Yeah.
Is that the key?
Yeah, I think playing fast, it's a little bit of a different team now. But I think they have probably, of all the teams in the league, they have Hedman, Kucherov, Point, Stamkos. They probably have 4 guys that are still stars playing on one team.
Hagel's playing really well.
And Hagel has been, when I watched him in Chicago, I didn't realize how good he was. I mean, maybe the change of scenery and being around those guys helped him. He's a really good player. But I think the tempo, especially with their back end, they've got some injuries and stuff like that. I think the tempo was very important. The way we played them in that playoff series when we beat them, they were a stubborn team back then. They would not dump the puck in. They were full of skill.
All possession.
Yeah, all possession. They didn't have a lot of grind to their game. And so we just filled the neutral zone and just kept our patience and frustrated them. And then we had a chance to forecheck. We did. But they ended up turning the puck over a lot because they refused to dump it in. I give John Cooper and it was Stevie. No, was it Brisebois, the general manager back then? I forget. Yeah, I think it was. It was Brisebois.
Yeah.
They did a great job in changing their team and adding some grind to it. So they could play, so they could play different ways.
Coleman,
because they could play one way, and that was our home game plan. Was we felt that's the only way they could play. Let's draw them into the grind. Let's force them to grind with us. Kucherov was a little immature. He got suspended because he did some stupid stuff. Hedman gets hurt. Anderson runs him over. He gets hurt. Can't do it to that team now because they can play different ways.
Yeah.
Certainly not as powerful as they were then because of cap and everything that's gone on. And but they're still a very good team. When you're playing against any team you play against, you got to make sure you keep your identity. We don't make a lot of changes in how we play.
Yeah.
We want to be on our toes and play as fast as possible, stretch the zones, and try to play at pace. We're going to do the same thing as we go into our games this week.
And you're going to see Toronto a couple more times. You're going to see a lot of players. So, I mean, the idea really is just stress your opponent and dictate the terms on the ice. Yeah. Let's talk about 2 absolute beauties. We talked about these 2 dogs before, Torts. Cody and Cobalt. They were kind of a package duo, the old married couple, if you will. They were being fostered for a bit, but they are back in the shelter this week. And the shelter, we don't hide from this. It causes some dogs, especially older dogs, a bit of stress. So we want to get Cody and Cobalt out, either as a package deal or individually.
This is an emergency.
Yeah.
For me to because I we've dealt with older dogs, and I know a lot of people within our animal welfare community do this particularly for older dogs because it just sets them back so badly in shelters, the senior dogs. So I like the idea that they're thinking about splitting them up. You told me that sometimes they don't get along a little bit, like an old married couple.
Territorial a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. But I think they have a better opportunity if they're split. But this is a major blinking light for me to have older dogs that were being fostered now brought back into a shelter, into the helter-skelter that goes there. It could really harm the dogs badly. And so I hope people really take a long look. And I hope 2 couples get one the other and one with the other and split them up as long as they can get out of that shelter, because I don't think it's going to be very healthy for them for long. Yeah,
I think it's difficult. It's a big commitment to take one dog on. To take 2 is, in your space and all that goes with it. Now, the great people at Paws have learned a lot about Cody and Cobalt, which is good too. Cobalt is the all black dog, very goofy, expressive, kind of precocious dog, loves to play fetch and stuff. Cody, a little more tame, chill, curl up on the couch, watch the game with you kind of dog. So depending which fits your lifestyle and your situation, you can consider that. You do want not an apartment building. They are older dogs who are trying to avoid as many stairs as possible and those kind of things, and cat free. If you can take a look, go to Paws, read about them, go to the website. Absolutely do so immediately. Contact their team at foster@phillypaws.com. philadelphiaflyers.org, and all the adoption info is at the Hockey and Hounds homepage at philadelphiaflyers.com/hockey and hounds. So we've got to find these two a home. Yeah. They've been fostered several times and have good experiences, but we just haven't found the forever home.
Yeah. And people are trying, right?
Yeah.
But we try so hard, but when they keep on getting forth, there at Paws, one of the most places I've been, there dogs.
Yeah.
And it's a shelter. I can't even call it a shelter atmosphere there, because they're so great with their dogs. They have quiet time for them. It was such a rewarding experience to go out there and talk to the people and see some of the dogs. But again, it's not home. It's not being in with a family. And for senior dogs, it's a struggle.
Yeah, no question. We do have great news. And we've kind of been sitting on this for a little while because we had to make sure everything was good and every I was dotted and T was crossed. But we talked probably from September through close to December about Coffee Cake.
Yes.
Coffee Cake's a star, for goodness sake. Got his own Instagram page, the whole thing.
Came out to one of our games.
It was a good luck charm, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Coffee Cake has officially been adopted and is assimilated beautifully. So that is great news.
That is some of the best news that you can get if you met this dog, and we all have, and just listen to her background, and she struggles with, she can't see, problems hearing, the whole nine, the gamut. To have her be adopted is just fantastic news, and it just gives you so much faith in the people.
Yep.
As far as that are in this world of trying to help animals, it's just such great news.
And here's the thing. Nobody gave up on Coffee Cake. Nobody did. And we're not going to let that happen. The people at Paul's not going to let that happen. So we are thrilled that Coffee Cake has a home. And I know you were there the day that she went out the door.
And one of the most important things about this kennel space is that Coffee Cake is not in it because she was adopted.
Stop it. Oh my God. When?
Yesterday.
Oh, that is fantastic.
It's fantastic.
News.
And right behind you on the board, we kept it up there. A really lovely family. So we are tentatively excited.
That's
great.
So,
it's with, situations in the past where she's gone into homes and for whatever reason it hasn't been the right fit, and that's okay. Yeah. All we have to do is wait for her right fit. So this was her kennel, and I couldn't wait to show you that
fantastic.
It is empty.
And there's an emotion to it.
Yeah.
Seeing a dog going to a home, not going to spend the night in a cage.
I thought about it since the shows and all that, and getting to meet her at the rink, and everything, and just hearing about her past and everything with it. You think at night, I said, I wonder what she's doing right now. She's stuck, and but to have her now to be, and the people grinded away here, right? There was a lot of work, and they hung in there, which is fantastic. And now she has her forever home. So it's really good news.
Great news for the people too. They're going to get to meet you and have the full on Hockey and Hounds experience coming up at the carnival. This is the reason why you love the carnival, because you're there with the dogs.
Yes.
It's coming up on Sunday, March 17th, St. Patty's Day. Your chance to meet Coach Tortorella, take photos, and get to meet adoptable dogs. That was fantastic. You can purchase your tickets now at flyerscarnival.com. It'll be a great day. Hopefully, coming in with a couple of wins, and everybody feels good. And Torch, you saw it on Saturday. You felt it in that building. We remarked on it last year that the Ranger fans came in and invaded. They invade a lot of buildings.
Oh, sure.
It's cheaper to go anywhere but their own building to go watch a game, for goodness sake. But that is getting bled out a little bit.
Yeah, it was. I don't get caught up in it too much, but there's certain times in the game you kind of look around, and I'll put it. We're on the right road as far as trying to get some of our people back in here and in a consistent basis, and seeing a good brand of hockey. I think we're on the right road. We're going to keep on trying, and I said from the first day I came here, we made our own bed here. We kind of screwed this up. We're trying to unscrew it now, and it's going to take more time, but I think we're on the right road.
Torts, have a great week of hockey.
Thanks, man.